Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. And we are going to work on this Corvette here, the Reptilia R2. Taking a look at the stats right now, 309 horsepower, so we'll see what we can do for that. Right now, the car is worth $29,800, so we can improve the car, get the dyno nice and high for us, and then see if we can improve the value on this thing. Right now, as per usual, it is time to strip the car. So let's get started. Pull off the bumper and the hood, the headlights right there. We'll see, of course, what we can repair right off of the gate, and then we will be able to buy some parts that we need, especially those tuning parts. In between episodes, I went ahead and I pulled all the 100% parts out of my inventory. I guess we can't do... Well, we might need... Oh, there's a rear bumper. I was going to say we might actually need a rear bumper here. But I pulled all of the 100% parts from the last build, the Tempest Magnum, and put them in the warehouse. So we might be able to get away with not buying some parts here. First off, of course, let's pull the engine. Now, as you can see, this engine is different. It's a V8 engine still, but it's not an OHV engine. It's just a regular V8 engine, and we actually have things like the ABS module that we can pull off. This is a newer car, so anti-lock brakes are a thing. Still the same old fuel filter, brake servo, battery, that sort of thing. This one we have radiator fans and housings that we can repair, so that's pretty good. This one has ignition coils, and I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head if the ignition coils are available in the performance tuning area. I believe they are, so those will be need to be purchased rather than the ignition coil B that we had last time. Of course, 8 spark plugs to be pulled, and the timing cover is a little bit different this time. We have to pull off all of these serpentine belts and idle rollers. We have idler rollers A and B, so I don't believe we can repair those. Those may be a straight up purchase for us. This car may be a little bit more expensive to repair, but I think that the value will be much higher than the Tempest Magnum. Let's go ahead and get these spark plugs out. The engine, of course, is the most involved. Oh, there's even a throttle here. I think there was a performance throttle V8 that we could get from the tuning kit. All right, that's our engine block done. Let's go ahead and get everything off the front of the engine here. We have the serpentine belt and the belt tensioner, which holds that in, and then we're just pulling off all of these idler rollers, the water pump here. Now, I think the water pump V is not one of the parts that are in the performance pack, so we'll have to hopefully repair those. But the power steering pump and alternator, of course, is a performance part, so we can try to repair those. Not exactly necessary because we're going to be buying right away the performance parts, but it's good to keep them in the warehouse because as I continue on in the never-ending mode, you could say, things like the power steering pump and alternator may be replaced at 100%. We have 2 timing belts this time around, and as those are rubber pieces, of course, we can't repair those. We've got some cam gears to pull off, and then we can pull out these cam shafts. We have the intake manifold V8. Now, intake manifold should definitely be in the performance area. And then we can pull off the engine head. And I think these engine heads were also available. So if we can repair them, awesome. If not, no real loss to us, as we aren't going to put these back on anyway. Camshafts come off, and then the... Oh, there is no intake manifold V8 over here, so that's good. We don't have to waste money on that. All right, so I think everything else is below the car. Let's raise it up. And this being a barn find, I do not believe that this has any oil in it. But I don't want the $100 fine. No, it's completely drained of oil. So no worries there. Alright, let's pull out the oil filter. And there's no oil pan. Okay, so that explains why there's no oil. Interesting indeed. So starter, we'll pull off, excuse me, we'll pull out the drive shaft. Now we do have a leaf spring rear end from the last Tempest Magnum, so if we can't repair that, that's no big deal. Hopefully we can, well, we can't repair any of the clutch mechanism besides the plate, and that is going to be a performance part anyway. So it really doesn't matter. We'll get a fresh transmission in here. All right, so now that the flywheel's off, we can pull off our crankshaft bearing caps and all of the rod caps. Now we do have a few of those left over from the last couple cars, so I don't foresee us having to buy any rod caps this time around. But we can probably get away with repairing these. They look to be in moderate shape. I don't think any of them are so far gone that we can't even, excuse me, that we can't possibly repair them, so that is good. It'll be 8 of these rod caps. Basically the same underbody for this engine as the V8 OHV. Just like that. Now we can go ahead and pull our pistons out. Pistons, of course, will be performance parts. So even though we can't repair them, that's no big loss either. Pull all these guys out like so. And then we can work on the suspension, get all of that pulled out, get the interior pulled out. We do have 2 seats and a steering wheel to worry about. Pull out the crankshaft, and then we will get the engine block. Now, I do not believe that any engine blocks were in the performance section. So that is fine. So that is engine done. Let's go ahead and pull out these seats here. Right seat, left seat, and there isn't even a steering wheel in here. So that is outstanding indeed. I don't know which steering wheel we want to put in, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. So the Reptilia has their own rims. And I think all 4 tires have, whoops. No, well, might as well pull the tires off. Didn't mean to do that, but they have to come off anyway. As I was saying, I don't think that this car has brake drums. It's much too new to have brake drums on it, so I think it's a 4 caliper and brake pad type setup. Cover comes off, and this is a double wishbone suspension once more. So it's what we've seen before, and in fact it's the same underbody parts as well as the Tempest Magnum, the front steering knuckle C and all that good stuff, which we definitely have a few reserve steering knuckles in the warehouse as well. So if we do fail at repairing that, no big deal. Of course, the tie rods we cannot repair, so we'll just pull those out. Work on the other side here. Pull off the brake pads, the disc, the hubcap, and the hub bearings. Work on the hubs, and then we can get to the meat and potatoes. Now, I think exhaust pipe V8 OHVA. Last episode, we bought that extra exhaust that we didn't actually need, so I'm hoping that they can go on this car. I put all of our 100% parts in the garage. If I didn't sell it, which I don't think I did because my inventory was really, really stacked. So if we can use those exhaust parts, we will use them faux show. Bushing comes out. Let's get these suspension arms off. Then the double wishbone, the shock absorber. There we go. A lot of rubber bushings to be purchased this time around as per usual. Let's get the cross member out and work our way backwards, taking out the exhaust, catalytic converters, the middle mufflers, and the exhaust pipes. And then there's 2 rear muffler V8s right back there. We'll go ahead and pull off the sport tires here. And indeed, there are brake calipers and pads, so that'll be 4 brand new brake pads that we need to buy. The solid rear axles, we do have extra ones of those from the Tempest Magnum for sure. But yeah, it looks like this rear end looks exactly the same as the Tempest Magnum, so this will be something that we've seen before. I know we've got some extra U-bolts, and maybe even some extra leaf spring plates. Maybe even an extra leaf spring, if I remember correctly. Leaf spring out, the fuel pump comes out, and there's a performance fuel pump we can put in. Just like that. All right. So once we get all of this out, once again, we'll put the battery on the charger. We'll see exactly what parts we can repair. And then any parts that we need, we can pull from the warehouse. And we're almost done disassembling the Corvette. Now, a few other cars that might be interesting to look at are the cars with the different rear ends. And there's even one car that has a rear engine setup, which would be pretty cool to see. And different from this car and the 57 that's sitting over there. But there we go. The car has been completely gutted. Make sure I didn't leave any glass in this thing, and indeed, nope. We have just the body and interior. So we'll go ahead and move the interior detailing kit over to lifter 1. Move the welding kit to lifter 1. And then we'll put the battery on the charger. 23%. That should charge up nice and well. All right, let's get the body done. Use equipment to repair the body, and it looks nice and respectable-like. Yep, not a scratch on it now. I like it. Detailing kit, we can see that the gauges are kind of washed out. Let's see what the result is. I'll keep looking at it here. And then use equipment for $100, detail it up, and now everything is nice and detailed inside, nice and shiny. Gauges are much, much better, and we will put that back. Let's go ahead and unmount the tires. Whoop. We've got 4 tires here, and the rims are at 50%, so I think we have a pretty good shot at repairing the rims. We'll just need to buy some new rubber for this thing, and we might get froggy and put some racing tires on this thing, some racing slicks, so when we take it out to the track, hopefully the game recognizes racing tires versus sport tires, and we can get some extra grip there to really put the power down. I think it'll also increase the base value of the car as well. So that should be pretty fun. All right, separate the last rim from the tire, and then we'll head on over to the repair bench and just start going nuts. Alrighty. So here we go. Let's see what we can repair. Starting with the front wheel hub at 15%. Got some U-bolts, the suspension arm, the alternator, which we can store because the alternator is a performance part. We repaired that caliper. Even the engine heads. Nice, the clutch plate. I don't know if the camshafts are performance, so we don't want to break that or the radiator. We broke a caliper cylinder, unfortunately. There we go, leaf spring axle. The fuel pump we didn't have to worry about. Hopefully, yep, good rim. Crankshaft bearing cap, we have a few of those, but not needed. Repaired those just fine. Cross member D, we do not have a backup, but we're good there. The caliper cylinder is good. Intake manifold, we'll definitely have to see if there's a performance variant of that. Come on, gearbox, treat me well. Thank you so much. Crankshaft, outstanding. Leaf spring plates are getting up there. rear drive axle, front wheel hubs, the crankshaft caps, the coils cover. Now the throttle, I think we have a performance variant, so we didn't have to repair that for sure. Nice, calipers are looking good. Our one exhaust manifold timing cover is good. Our starter is good. We're getting some good luck here with the repairing. Nice, so let's just go on through. Knuckle C. Oh, we broke that U-bolt, but we do have some replacements. I'm not too upset about that. Power steering pump, there's a performance variant. Water pump is good to go. Caliper. Ah, broke that one. Come on, rim. We need you. Excellent. Got some rims repaired. The rear drive axle. Brake servo we needed. Awesome. One click. So I like getting into the realm of the one click for sure. So the ABS pump is very expensive. We need this to work. Outstanding. Now, the ABS computer is going to be another one. The module is one that we want it to be repaired. Engine head, outstanding. Drive shaft. Come on, the module is good. And now we get to the body parts. Polish them up nice and easy. Just like that. So we had some really, really good luck there with the repair. Let's go ahead and pull the battery off of the charger. And now I believe we are ready to get involved here. So next episode, we will go ahead and put in the engine, buy the performance parts, and like the last episode, put on the body panels and the rear suspension. And then after that, we can mount some tires, put on some racing slicks, and finish up with the front suspension. But that's going to do it from me in this episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Corvette that is looking ready to go. But like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next Car Mechanic Simulator video. Take care.